Well, good afternoon and welcome to the West Fresno Center campus, the new home of over 1,200 students from Southwest Fresno. Yes. I'm the proud Vice Chancellor of State Center Community College District, Christine McTarian, and we are pleased to have Governor Gavin Newsom and Senior Advisor Dee Dee Myers joining us today, as well as Assembly Members Joaquin Arambula and Ana Caballero. I'd also like to introduce and acknowledge our Board of Trustees, Destiny Rodriguez, Danielle Parra, and Magdalena Gomez. State Center and its 4 community colleges are proud to be part of the forefront of workforce initiatives, including U.S. EDA, Good Jobs for the Central Valley, a program focused on upskilling workers in high-demand jobs, and the Build Back Better F3 Ag Tech Workforce Program, which is the fastest CBE program in the state, upskilling our farm worker community. The West Fresno campus is a testament to what can be achieved when communities, governments, industry, and educational institutions come together. This project stems from community-driven advocacy, culminating in today's climate-focused investment of $66.5 million allocation from the Transformative Climate Communities TCC program. It was also combined with an additional $86.5 million local match. These investments showcase the power of strategic funding to combat historic disinvestment and provide vital educational resources in underserved areas. The first phase of West Fresno was funded by a local bond measure and $16.5 million of state TCC funds, which funded the sustainability features you see around the campus, such as over 400 new trees, pervious pavement, and a reclaimed water system that provides recycled water for irrigation and our water feature. This sustainable water feature serves as a symbolic beacon of hope to the West Fresno community, a reminder that together we can foster a college-going culture, improve air quality, strengthen the economy, and provide our community with tools to thrive. I'd now like to introduce our West Fresno student, Aiden Ortiz, to the stage.
Hello, my name is Aiden Ortiz. I was born and raised here in Fresno, California. Finishing my last semester here in the automotive program at Fresno City College. Coming into the program, I had no experience whatsoever. My main goals were being able to learn the skills to take care of myself, people around me, and then eventually go into the industry, do the best I can to perform diagnosis and repair, and be as honest as possible. That's my main goal, just be the best, most honest person I can be in this field. Having a facility this size with top-of-the-line tools and equipment at a community college level is just a complete game changer. You know, the training offered to us from our manufacturing partners, along with the option to receive an associate's degree after the program is finished, is just incredible. You know, compared to a trade school where you're spending in between $30,000 and $50,000 for a less personal, less hands-on experience, and no option to receive a degree at the end of that. It's just, in my opinion, it's a no-brainer. You know, I love every day that I spend here. The time that I have spent here, I've learned so much as a person, as a technician, and I'm just extremely confident to take my next steps in my career going into the industry. Here at the program, we cover bumper to bumper, so every system of the automotive vehicle is covered. Our newest classes that we offer here give us training for hybrid electric vehicles. It's very important here in the state of California, one for the growing demand of the zero to low emission vehicles, as well as to help pollution levels in California, considering our population, as well as across the United States. You know, the people that I've met here, the experiences that I've had, memories I've made, it's something I'm never going to forget, you know, and words can't even express how grateful I am to the state for the funding to make this program and this facility what it is today, as well as my gratitude for our incredible instructors, their knowledge, and the faculty here that keeps this facility running around the clock. It's a pretty big facility, so it takes a lot, but I'm forever grateful. It's just definitely changed my life. Thank you. Next, I would like to introduce Assemblymember Joaquin Arambula. Thank you.
Well, first, let's give another round of applause for Aiden Ortiz, if we can. Now, it's exciting when we get to these days where we get to celebrate all of the hard work over years. And I want to acknowledge the role that community has played in uplifting and demanding that we provide educational opportunities here in West Fresno. For too long, it has been these communities in 93706 that have been left behind, that have not been invested in, and so it is with intentionality that we invested those TCC dollars through participatory budgeting. Community insisted that we give them this campus so that we could train future generations and give them economic development. I'm grateful that we have Aiden here to give his story that will be true for so many future generations here in West Fresno and throughout our region. Now, while we recognize the importance that they have done in being innovators, we also need to appreciate that they are now called technicians and no longer mechanics. Because just like I was a physician, a provider who worked on people's bodies, they too are now working with technology and machines that are evolving. These are not just internal combustion engines, but are hybrid engines and electric engines, and we need to train that future generation with the most technology that is of today. And so I'm grateful that State Center Community College has spent the time and energy to develop this campus and that we are giving students those opportunities of tomorrow. Now, I have the honor of being able to know that we have a role in pulling down state dollars, but it is our responsibility as a community to make sure that we're putting our priorities first. For too many young people, they do not have the same opportunities in participating in our economy, and we can change that by investing and giving them those opportunities like we did here. A partner who has been working along those lines with me in the legislature, who will do great things in the future as well, is our friend and our senator. Please help me to welcome Senator Ana Caballero.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. It gives me great pleasure to be here today. First, let me thank the governor for joining us here in West Fresno. We always like to see him visit, but what's critically important is the opportunity to talk to him about what's going on in the four-county region and to ask his administration to be partners with local government, with our local educational institutions, with the foundation, community foundation, with the business community, in particular the small business community, as well as multiple elected officials that are working together to create plans for how to make sure that the Central Valley has a place in economic development for the region in a way that creates sustainable and green jobs and a green economy. And what's exciting about this are the state investments. The state has been a real partner, and we're here to celebrate that, but also to say here is the path forward. Why is this important? The number one issue when I go out and I meet with neighbors in all of our communities is the ability to have a good job, to be able to pay your bills, to be able to buy maybe a house, to be able to make sure that when your children are ready to go to college, they have the resources to do that. And the way to those good jobs is to plan and to include those voices in the planning. So I'm really excited today because we're going to be talking about the Sierra San Joaquin Jobs Initiative that focuses on a thriving Central Valley to make sure that we have the economic success that we need for the next century. And if that plan came together because people spend thousands of hours working on it. It's not done. There's still a lot more work to do, but we're here to celebrate that, to recognize the governor for his partnership and participation in making this happen, and also to commit to take the steps necessary to be able to get us there. So today is celebratory, but also there's some expectation that we're all going to continue to work really, really hard on this to make sure that when we create green energy, the people that benefit are the people in our community, that they see the reduction in what they have to pay for energy, that they have the ability to have a good job while we're doing that. And so thank you, Governor. Thank you for your administration, for all the work that you've done. And it gives me great pleasure to recognize and welcome Ricardo Castorena, who's the Executive Director of the Binational of Central California.
Governor, they're giving me a microphone. I don't know if that's a good idea or not. You know, I actually had a great speech, and I never write one. I usually just wing it, but they've already mentioned a lot of the things I was going to say. You're probably wondering who I am, and I am a representative of many organizations. It took a lot of CBOs to put together a robust survey that allowed farm workers and essential food service workers to have an opinion. And that's really what I want to thank you for, because a lot of times we don't get a seat at the table. Things just come to us in a box, but they don't apply to us. And the fact that you should know that we learned something very unique, which we already know. They are afraid of climate change because it takes away jobs in the Central Valley. They are afraid of the current political climate because it affects us and our children. They are afraid of the language barriers that exist in the Central Valley. But you know what they're most afraid of? Not being able to provide for their children. That is what they're truly afraid of. But what you gave them through this amazing platform is the ability to be at the table and have their voices heard. Yes, there were a few of us who had to represent those 18,000 voices, but we represent them proudly. And the reason I say that is because it takes a collective group to put something like this together. Ashley Schwarzen and her amazing team, Karen, who pretty much kind of brought us forward to be part of this wonderful initiative. But without Governor Newsom's vision, this doesn't actually happen. Without Assemblymember Arambula and Senator Caballero literally putting this at the forefront of their mission as well, this doesn't happen. Without all of the organizations that played a role in putting this together, it doesn't happen. So for many, many people that are looking from the outside in, they would say, it's just a drop in the bucket. Come on, what kind of difference can that make? But collectively, all of these initiatives, what they are multiple drops in that bucket. And what does that translate to? Hope and prosperity. That's what we're giving our essential farm workers. Thank you very much for giving me this time. And I would like to introduce our amazing leader, who pretty much kind of was a brainchild, I think one of the very many brainchilds, Ashley Schwarzen, President and CEO of Central Valley Community Foundation.
All right, thank you. Well, good afternoon, everyone. It's great to see you all here today. I'm going with the child part of that. I'm feeling a little old after the last year and a half of work. But welcome to all of you. Welcome to the Sierra San Joaquin region, and welcome to West Fresno. On behalf of the Central Valley Community Foundation, it has been our honor, our privilege, and our pleasure to be a host, to be a convener of the Sierra San Joaquin Jobs Coalition, and to work in partnership with Governor Newsom and Secretary Myers and their team at GoBiz, and be just an amazing, excited, enthusiastic region, along with the other 12 in our state that are a part of the Jobs First initiative. I want to start by just saying we know this well in our region, but it's a great opportunity to remind all of you who represent other regions in California that a thriving Sierra San Joaquin region is essential to California's future. We already know that our region produces 25% of the nation's food supply, and it's the healthy stuff. It's the fruits and the vegetables and the nuts and the things that actually add value to our lives. We're situated in the middle of 15% of the state's landmass, but this one small part of the state is going to be expected to produce more than 25% of the state's future renewable energy needs. We have big opportunity in front of us, and we know we contribute in great and significant ways. But the reality is this, The challenges that confront the families in this region each and every day must be ever present in our mind. We must always remind ourselves that today, 62% of this region that is expected to produce the food and the energy of the future, 62% has been designated as disadvantaged. 1 in 5 people who live in this region are at or below the federal poverty line. That reality is what brought us to the table for the Jobs First initiative and the work we've been doing collaboratively over the last 2 years. We have put our hands to the wheel. Hundreds and hundreds of people have volunteered literally 2,900 hours. We've done outreach, as you just heard, to over 4,300 people who are not normally asked about their opinion about what the future of their community and their region should be. We've had 3 regional summits. We've had 300 civic organizations working together through an 8-week investment plan sprint to produce this big behemoth that I hold here. This is our 20-year, $58 billion investment plan for the central San Joaquin region. Okay? Not if, but when this plan is successfully implemented over the next 20 years, we can expect to see almost $100 billion of economic impact, 138,000 new jobs. And we're talking about electricians and carpenters and iron workers, engineers, community health workers. We're talking about forest and conservation workers, office and administrative support, teachers. My God, we need teachers, or we're not going anywhere in the future. We're talking about over 2,000 manufacturers being supported as a result of this plan, 6,000 small businesses being supported, 29 gigawatts of clean energy being produced, 137 metric tons of CO2 equivalent being avoided and drawn down, and childcare for over 40,000 families. Like, it's a big plan, and it's something we're all so excited about. We wouldn't be here at this moment where we put these big ideas on the table and we have plumbed the depths of the needs that are here in our region and the opportunities that are in front of us, except for Governor Newsom. His commitment to this scale and quality of work I've not seen before, and it is welcome in our region. So I just want to let you know, Mr. Governor, you can count the Sierra San Joaquin region in for the next 2 years, for the deep dive that it's going to take to deliver on this plan. We all know that this moment is the beginning and not the end, and that words on a page don't transform, but they do mobilize. And that's what's important. We are pledging and committing to you that we are in partnership. We will run with you hard over your next 2 years and beyond to ensure that the Sierra San Joaquin region is the pride of California and benefits the region, the residents in our region. So with that, I've been waiting for this moment. I want to ceremonially deliver this plan to our governor.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you.
That is a load off. Now, good luck, Governor.
I appreciate it. It's better than a PDF. Thank you all of you, for taking the time to be here. And I hope you're all here, members of the press, for this, because this is the real deal. There's so much noise in our politics, so much finger pointing, consternation, stress, anxiety, and then there's a moment like this, to me, that distills a sense of well-being, of optimism, and that anchors in a very vivid way the work that we are doing every single day in this state to try to connect this state together. A collective effort, a collective purpose to leave no region behind in this state. The state of mind that brought this initiative to play was simple. That California may be the largest economy in the United States of America, may be a $3.8 trillion a year economy. It may be 5th largest economy, next it may be 6th if India continues at pace. Largest economy in the world, but that's cold comfort for certain regions in this state that don't feel that they're fully participating in that economic output. They don't feel like they're fully engaged in the prosperity that is the state of California. And in an effort to reconcile that, we decided to break things down a little bit, recognizing that the state economy is not one simple economy, and quite the contrary. The economy in California is really a network of regional economies. And we started to break down in conversations over the course of the last number of years a framework around 13 specific regions in this state, from the Redwood Coast down to the border in the south. And we started to work in a collaborative framework to really build these regional clusters and partnerships to more formally connect the workforce and economic development strategies and opportunity. And we did it in a different way by providing the most significant resource investment in state's history to catalyze these conversations. Ashley just said it. The mayor just said it. 4,300 people participated in this regional plan. This was a stakeholder plan that was truly bottom up, not region down, as we heard a moment ago. Bottom up, informing the region. 13 now of these plans. This is the first we've received in the state, 502 pages. Those 13 plans will come together in January. We'll be releasing the most comprehensive, nuanced sectoral strategy and workforce strategy in this state's history. And it's because of all the hard work of the folks behind me. So it's a long way of saying this. Thank you. Thank you for your faith and devotion to this cause. Thank you for working together across your differences. Thank you for recognizing that we're all better off, and we're all in this together. Thank you for not playing jurisdictional games. Thank you for not playing any political games. Thank you for recognizing partnerships, private, public, sure, but also public-public partnerships, connecting dots, the regional basis, county basis, city basis, CBO basis, individuals, not just organizations. And thank you for not failing to plan. Because if you fail to plan, you're planning on failing. And it's incredibly important to lay out in nuance, in detail, what will catalyze support, and ultimately that will curry catalytic investment. And that's what the state is following up with. We started with $5 million for each region to create these plans. We just invested $14 million for each region to start to move to make real some of the commitments that were set forth in this plan. Those dollars now have already come into this region. We just learned that 7 projects are already being invested in the early phase, the pre-development phase. And in January, because of the extraordinary support of the senator and the assembly member and their colleagues in both houses in Sacramento, we have $120 million of competitive grants that we'll be putting out for early, ready-to-go projects, all in an effort to support what now is a $287 million economic development process, again, the likes that California has never seen. So I'm deeply prideful of this. I've been looking forward to this. You don't even know for how long. I know that photo op with Ashley was part of it, but I know all the hard work behind this. And I say that and I'll close. You know, I met Ashley years and years ago when she was mayor. I was lieutenant governor. And I was working with the Brookings Institute and with McKinsey. And I said, you know, this state doesn't have an economic development policy. I think we've been resting on our laurels. I think we put our feet up a little bit. We were the tentpole of the American economy. We dominated in the 50s and 60s and 70s. But I felt like things were starting to fray a little bit. I felt like coastal parts of the state were doing well. But at the end of the day, there was a different story that was being told all across the state. And Ashley said, you know what? Spend some time with me. We met each other at some conference. She says, come to Fresno. See what I'm doing with Fresno Drive. Sit in with us at this planning process. And literally, that was a seed of inspiration. That became catalytic in terms of the plan we put together when I was lieutenant governor, and then my commitment to her when I ran for office to do more and be more robust in terms of advancing those investments. They get together every year at a state level, 1,000+ people come together, all the regional doers, not dreamers. We were just with them a few weeks ago in Sacramento. They were all excited, getting closer to this moment. And now, here we are to fulfill their vision, this bottom-up vision, to support your cause and to put people first. We say this often, and it's been a point of emphasis, and it was emphasized in this last election. You know, some people talk about this economy is booming, inflation is cooling, lowest unemployment in our lifetimes, lowest black unemployment, Hispanic unemployment, lowest unemployment for women, lowest unemployment for people with disability. All that may be true, but people don't feel that way. They feel like the economy is not supportive. They feel like the economy is not nourishing. And there was that gap between what some perceived as performance and perception, the lived reality of people feeling on edge, unmoored, uneasy. And I think in so many ways, the work that you've done putting this to paper, the work that's being done in these regions, is the antidote to that. Because it's not talking about the economy, it's talking about people. It's not talking about the macro economic conditions, it's talking about the micro lived reality of people in regions like yours. And so I'm really excited to put this into practice, to support these new grant applications, and to continue to support this region. And I say continue in closing because I was very proud, and I want to thank the Assembly member and the Senator for making sure your colleagues supported this. But Ashley and Mayor Dyer came to me, and they had some ideas about the city of Fresno. And they came up with this crackpot idea that they just wanted to fast track a $250 million investment, and they wanted me to put it in the budget a week before I put it into print. That's never happened. And I thought it was a little audacious, almost arrogant, dare I say. But then they said, we just need 5 minutes of your time. They found me at some event. I think, Ashley, you came up and you had a little video. And you had saw me within 2 damn minutes. And then you said, well, what do you think? Can we talk about it? I said, no, we're good. She seemed disappointed. I said, no, we're good. She said, what do you mean we're good? I said, this is amazing. I said, I'm going to do it. She goes, no, you're not. And we did it. And I said, but you got to help because I'm not sure the legislature is going to support this. And again, because of your leadership, that happened. But it's because you guys are doing the work. And I just want to applaud the work that's being done here in the Central Valley. I want to thank these 4 counties. I want to thank all the leaders in these 4 counties. I want to thank the 60 of you that I just met with. I want to thank you for all the great work that's being done here, aligning the university system to the workforce of the future and maintaining that momentum as it relates to connecting these dots. And finally, I want to thank Dee Dee Myers and our Go Biz team that have been grinding for years and years on this, that have never taken their eye off the ball, that keep reminding me how important this is, and the 3 other big announcements we'll be making in this place over the course of the next few weeks that we've been working on for years and years around careers, no longer front-loading learning, but back-loading, lifelong learning, and the work we're doing to lay out a new blueprint for a larger vision so California can dominate the future, be more aggressive in permitting, time to delivering dam projects, being more accountable to producing results, not just talking and not just advancing more rhetoric. So with all of that, I am filled with joy and filled with gratitude and deep admiration and respect for every single one of you. Thank you for a job well done. Thank you all very, very much. Thank you.